The forums.
The streamers.
The blogs.
The gamer.
The tweets.
The streamers.
The role players.
The player.
The forums.
The bad.
The blogs.
The good.
The enthusiast.
The spotlight.
The spotlight.
The spotlight.
Hi, and welcome to the Spotlight.
Hello, yes, welcome to the Spotlight. Geeky, how's it going, man?
Oh, it's going, minus my minor webcam difficulties. Everything is going just peachy. How are you, Daro?
I am good. And hello, everyone. Yes, this is the Spotlight on Blizz Pro TV. It doesn't matter if you like World of Warcraft, Diablo 3, Hearthstone, StarCraft 2, or any of Blizzard's upcoming games, we are here for you. So, as we've already said, we have Geeky here. So, Geeky, anything exciting going on as we're gearing up for our own Winter Veil?
Oh, goodness. There's so many things going on. First and foremost, Diablo Reaper of Souls release date is announced.
Ooh.
It is coming very quickly, in fact. It's going to be here really, really soon. It's going to be here on March 25th of this coming year, 2014, which is 4 months.
Wow.
4 months coming around. You can already do the pre-ordering on your Blizzard account site, which I think is really good that they have that ready to go. I'm kind of hoping that since the release date is so close that they're going to start doing some more beta beta keys. Which I've been seeing more and more people on Twitter getting their keys, which I think is great. So, what do you think about it?
You know, I think it's really cool. I mean, everyone's really been jonesing for Diablo 3, and, you know, I'm not sure what Sosa would say. She's actually not here tonight, everyone. She got family aggro and is still in combat, so we have to wait for her to get done with that. No, I think there's a lot of really exciting stuff. I mean, it's standard, you know, digital download stuff. You know, it's $39.99 or $59.99 for the digital deluxe.
Yep.
But the really cool stuff, I mean, you get like, you know, for World of Warcraft, if you collect pets in World of Warcraft, you get the Treasure Goblin pet, which we're not exactly sure what he's going to do. I guess he's going to throw gold or something, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that's going to go.
I don't know either. It sounds interesting, though. I'm willing to wait and find out for that.
So there's that, and if you, of course, play StarCraft 2, there's some Crusader portraits and decals, and then for Diablo itself, you get the Spectral Hound minion and some really cool-looking like helmets and swords and stuff, skins to complement all of your stuff.
Awesome.
So that's really, really cool.
All good stuff. Excellent stuff. So Daro, tell me about this the WoW graphics discussion and this blog post.
So the amateur Azerothian made a blog post. It was talking about you know, WoW's graphics being behind the times, and you know, the title of his blog post was "WoW's graphics suck," and you know, yes, I suppose compared to some other games. You know, WoW's graphics are a little bit behind the times. I mean, you know, it's 2013. You know, we've got another expansion coming, and they're finally updating our character models.
Yeah.
But, you know, and if you look at, like, I don't know, some of the screenshots and some other things that, like, you know, their competitor, EverQuest Next, is putting out, and how pretty and how smooth everything looks. I mean, it's very cinematic style. As far as quality of graphics. Yeah, you know, Blizzard's a little behind the times, but the main point of this particular blog post was, who cares? The lore is fantastic.
Right.
You know, the story is great. It pulls you in. You know, we still have fun raiding.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and you know, doing all of those things. So who cares if the graphics aren't 100%, you know, super amazing, if you have fun, you know, playing the game.
Right. Yeah, it's a good thing to remember. It's all about the enjoyment factor of the game, really, and you know, it's a constant gaming debate about the emphasis of graphics in the games over the actual content, or how the games are made. You know, like good story, motivating themes, characters. Those are still important things. And if you think back 10, 15 years ago, you're playing games on the original PlayStation, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's all blocky 3D graphics, and you know, but the stories are great. You know,
Oh, yeah.
and those are the things like Final Fantasy VII, perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
You look at those graphics now. I mean, horrible by today's comparisons.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the story is so captivating. You got good characters. So, yeah,
Oh, I still play that game.
oh yeah, me too, definitely. I just bought it on Steam over
Oh,
Thanksgiving
awesome.
break. So, uh, I I really think that it's a valid statement that the graphics are behind the times. After 9 years, you just don't even pay attention really to the graphics unless you're worried about your computer's performance handling the graphics, which you know they make the game so available to a wide range of computer setups, which is a
Oh, yeah.
benefit of the game. But I mean, I don't even really notice anymore, really.
Well, and I don't think anyone really does. I mean, unless you make a habit of trying out all the other new games that are coming out. You end up kind of being able to compare, not on purpose. It just
Right.
sort of forced compares it. But every game has its own style. I mean, WoW certainly has its own style of graphics. The giant shoulders where you know that if you really wore those shoulders, if you tilted your head, you would stab yourself in the ear.
Right.
Um, people use the hide helm option all the time because some of the helms are just god awful.
Hmm.
But I mean, who cares? You can most of the time, and unless your computer is really horrible, you can still see what you need to do. You can still see your spell effects, and that's really, I think what's important is, can you see the fire to get out of it?
Yeah.
Can you see the pretty sparklies? Okay, so it's a little behind the times. But what are they doing story wise? What are they doing content wise?
Mhm.
And look at Mists of Pandaria, absolutely amazing.
It
I
is.
mean, just standing there, on top of Half Hill and looking out. I mean, you're just like, whoa,
Yeah.
you know.
They do a good job of updating the software version, like the little things within the graphics, without having to do a major overhaul. Like
Mhm.
I think it's really impressive on their part, because they're able to do that. And like you said, like I'm able to see stuff I'm not supposed to be standing in, and they make little tweaks like, oh, they updated Shaman's lightning bolt, or how
Mhm.
typhoon, or any of those spells work, and they do it really gradually, and they have a lot of other things to focus on. I'm sure graphics are not top of their list because they're trying to pump out as much content as possible. So no, I think it's fine. And I think that people that focus on that as a main argument or factor of their argument for why the game is horrible, I just can't buy it.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't
No,
understand.
and I agree with you. I mean, it's graphics aren't everything. You can
Right.
have the prettiest game in the world, but if you don't enjoy playing it, then what's the point? It's this is a game.
Yeah,
We're here to have
exactly.
fun.
Exactly.
I mean, come on, they still put out. I mean, look at like Binding of Isaac on Steam.
Hmm.
That's old school Nintendo style graphics,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's disturbing.
There,
But I mean,
there's
it's
a big
fun.
push for that though. It seems to be there's a lot of good Steam games coming out right now that have a lot of old retro graphics, and they're really popular. I think Starlight, is one that's really big. I know it's really big streaming on Twitch right now, but I mean the graphics aren't anything to write home about, and I think it's great that there's a shift backwards. And I've been trying other MMOs over the last, I don't know, 6 months or whatever. Like Final Fantasy is a good example. And like people say that WoW's graphics are really cartoony, or comic
Nothing
booky.
compared to Final Fantasy.
And I kind of don't really care for the graphic setup that Final Fantasy has. I think it looks beautiful, but I don't think I prefer it over WoW. And I think it's just
Right.
because I've become so accustomed to how World of Warcraft looks, that maybe it's just because I just don't care like how it looks.
Right.
I'd rather be focused on content and playability and game design. I think is what I'm more
Oh, yeah.
focused on. So I think it's definitely a personal preference thing. And, you know, if it some people think it's a high factor, other people
Well,
like story.
well, right. I mean, if graphics are that important to you, there's certainly plenty of games out there
Oh,
that
there are.
have the highest level of graphics that are out there right now,
Yep.
and you can still enjoy it. And still, I'm not saying they're bad games.
Mm-mm.
But if that's your driving factor, well, then maybe WoW isn't for you.
Right.
But having played since vanilla, the graphics have improved over time.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a slow, gradual thing, like you were saying. And I think in some ways that's nice because you don't get the shock.
Yeah. Right. I think when a lot of games that are in a series, when they do overhauls like that, sometimes it like alienates the players because they feel like they're not playing the same game. Like, oh, this is a completely different game. At least with we have different expansions in WoW. At least it feels like the same game. Like a lot of the changes are like design changes, like talents have been shrunk, or we don't have as many spells, and like the big change in Warlords of Draenor will be, models look different,
right?
And that's purely, which I think is funny because I mean we play the game over the shoulder third person for the most part, so all the time that we're going to see these models are other players. If we're out questing in Draenor by ourselves, I mean, we're going to see the back of our heads.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that's kind of funny to think about, but graphics, yeah. I think that in the future, they'll definitely make a push for an overhaul, since they make it really apparent that, WoW is not dead, dying, close to being free to play or any of that. I'm sure that they have some opportunities to increase the quality of the graphics.
Well, and we did get a bit of that with Kata. I mean, come on, they redid the entire old world.
Yep. They did.
So that gave them an excuse to update the graphics.
Yep.
And it worked, and it fit with the story. It wasn't just we're going to update because we feel we have to compete. It was, well, it makes sense for a story purpose.
Yep.
And that I think is a really good reason
Right.
To have that. And I think a lot of people think the same thing. I mean, and like I said, this blog post, really, it's something I never really thought about, as far as graphics wise, because I've played this game for so long. It's just like, well, this is how WoW looks.
Yeah.
But it does make a very good point, that so what if the graphics are behind the times? They're still giving you tons and tons to love.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. There's so much more to offer. That graphics is just a minor detail.
Right.
It's a minor thing in the grand scheme of things.
Well, and thinking of offering things, so what's going on with all of our Connected Realm stuff?
Gosh, there was a really good post a few days ago by Blizzard on the WoW site that outlined all of the connections so far and some upcoming connections that are pretty exciting, especially if you're part of the Twisted Nation. There's a little mention towards Kulturis, and I thought it was a really, really good article. It summed up everything really nice, and there it is up on the stream right now, so you guys can take a look at it. But they do a really good job of outlining what's been completed so far. Here's a nice little list. I'll scroll through it as we go. But I mean, I'm sure some of you guys can see your respective realm or realms on there. I know I've seen a couple I've played on. It's a pretty good list for.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how long have they been doing connections now?
Quite a long time. I mean, they've
4 or 5
they've
months.
done, it's something like that. Maybe
Something like
6
that.
months the most. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been going on for a while.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good range of realms. So then after that, they go ahead and they talk about the next series coming up. There's a good list, 6 connections, and that's going to happen on the 23rd, which is tomorrow.
Yes.
And during the scheduled maintenance, beginning at 6 Pacific for 5 hours, which I'm sure it'll be 6 or 7 hours because they usually need another hour or two to do those things. Most of those I've never played on, except for Dark Iron. I think I played on Dark Iron there. And then the next little setup there after the new year on the 3rd, Friday the 3rd of January, again at 6 p.m. Pacific until 11 with a little extra time in there. There's some really good ones on there. Executus played on there. Black Hand, I know a lot of people play on Black Hand. So there's another good chunk of servers. And then we have the most exciting piece of news is we do not have a date for the Falling Realm Connections, but they will update when they know. And look what's on there. Little good old Kulturus, or the old Twisted Nation out there.
That's right.
Which is excellent. Along with some other good ones, Kargath, Fire Tree, some really good ones. So yeah, I thought that was a really good post. It's good to be reminded of progress, and it's really good to see it on paper, all these connections over all the months, and to be able to refer back to it, because I'm sure Blizzard wants their fans to know that, hey, we're doing all this work and there's still work to be done, but we want you to know what we've done. And
right.
As a fan and a player and a journalist for Blizzard News, I think it's good to see that information, because then we can report it out to everyone. So
well, right, and it is still a topic of debate. I mean, the community is still a bit divided over the validity of doing such things, or how helpful is it really?
Right. Yep. Yeah, and I hope that it's being helpful. I hope it's beneficial for people. I would really love to talk to some people that are on these servers and ask them a few questions about what the big differences are. Are they good? Are they bad? I think it'd be interesting to see. That might be a good question of the week, Dear Gamer segment.
I think that's going to be our question of the week for next week.
Excellent. Because I think we should know, and I think people want to know. Because I know a lot of people that I play with or know that play aren't in any of these realms, and they do have questions. So I know I have questions about it. So I thought that was a really good article.
Yes. Yes, Blizzard keeping us informed, which is always good.
Yes, and it is good. It's good for the community. It's really good for the community, and it keeps us happy. I think knowledge is power, so it's good to know. But speaking of the opposite side of the community,
yes.
Daro, please talk to us about the darker side of the Blizzard community. What's going on?
So we start off with something that sounds very happy. Valnis Missile, Blues Pro, did the article the other day covering the Community Choice Awards for 2013 for the American player chosen by the community to be the winner.
Yep.
And it's a player named Scarlet for StarCraft 2. And the whole article covers, Scarlet's history as a player and, all the titles won and tournaments entered and things like that. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing to remember, everyone, is the Community Choice Awards, and there's several different categories. This is a popularity contest. People are voting,
Yep.
Gamers are voting for the winners
right.
for the various categories.
Right.
And Scarlet was chosen as the American player winner for this year. Mm-hmm. Now, I was excited to hear, the news, because it's like, oh, cool. This is this time of year and people get a vote and pick their favorites and all that kind of stuff. Well, then I took a look. I made the mistake of looking at the comments section on Blizzard's website for the announcement of the American winner. And the amount of hate that's just sitting there. I mean, just comment after comment. It left me speechless. I was in shock. And it wasn't just, oh, this person didn't deserve to win. I mean, we're talking people saying, oh, well, Scarlet's not as good as so-and-so. Scarlet didn't win as many tournaments as so-and-so. Scarlet doesn't deserve to win. Scarlet only won because Blizzard felt they had to, have her win. Hey, guys, it's a Community Choice Award.
Exactly. Yep.
The community picked the winner. I'm sorry if your favorite did not win this year, but obviously Scarlet has enough of a following to have pulled the votes to win.
That's right.
Why hate? I mean, it's I could understand loyalty to a player who's doing tournament stuff, but at the same time, are we 7?
Yeah.
Is this a playground?
Right.
Um, yeah, it absolutely blew me away. I mean, we have talked, so many times about, the community coming together and being helpful.
Right.
And we know that from like just, the Twisted Nation, and all of the Twisted Guilds, and how everybody helps everybody else out. But to see the community come together for such a negative reason was just mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, to this day, I mean, I've been involved in gaming communities for, I mean, a number of years with MMOs and other games.
Yep,
And
same.
it still just blows my mind that people can be so hurtful. It's not like Blizzard picked the winners,
Right.
and it's just, wow. Yeah, just absolutely amazing. But I think part of that is I blame things like American Idol,
Mm-hmm.
The Voice, even things like Survivor,
Mm-hmm.
with voting people off or voting people on, or, call in to vote. And I think it's just sort of gotten people to not really see these contestants as real people.
Right. I think it's a really good article, and I'm gonna go ahead and just throw that up on the stream for everybody, because I think that they should be able to see it. Hopefully it frames up all right. Yeah, okay. So it's on the stream right now. This is the article from Blizz Pro. It talks about the Community Choice Awards. Daria did a really good job summing it up. So there's a picture of her right there. And some videos, some good interviews, and some gameplay footage, which is really good. I like watching her play. I just read an article. I read this article on BuzzPro, and then I thought it was funny that Dig.com did an article on her as well in the last couple days, and showed some really good gameplay footage of her. Very talented. Very talented at what she does. They call her the Korean Kryptonite because she does amazingly well against Korean players.
Right.
Because there's so many North American players that do not so well against them, because, I mean, it's kind of their game. But she really is able to go toe-to-toe. So by all means, go check out this article on blitzpro.com. Read it. Watch some of these videos. She's amazing. She is amazing. And I do think that people need to remember that it is a Community Choice Awards. And, I mean, this is not about, like, her abilities as a player, or, people are just twisting this into something it doesn't need to be twisted into. I mean, we need to be celebrating the fact that she won, who she is. And, I think people just need to remember that. I mean, it's Christmas time, isn't it? I mean, are we supposed to be nicer?
Tis the season.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
yeah, no, it is. And I mean, it's, if it had just been a couple people, making a couple mean comments,
right,
I probably, would have just thrown it aside as like, okay, haters gonna hate.
Yep.
But this is really, I mean, it was just comment after comment.
Yeah.
And it just, I felt that, it was something that needed to be discussed of, we can come together for a lot of things. Why come together for something so stupid as to start a smear campaign against somebody because your favorite didn't win?
Right.
But, that's neither here nor there. It's the damage is done. You know what? Congratulations, Scarlett.
Yes, congratulations.
More power to you, and congratulations to everyone who won. You can go to Blizzard's site. You can also go to BlizzPro's site and see all the articles on all of the Community Choice winners for all the various categories.
Yes.
So congratulations to everybody for winning, and we hope to see you around next year.
I agree. I love seeing StarCraft news. StarCraft 2 news is great. And I wish there was more of it in the community, and I wish that there was more good articles that we could report on, because it's, I think we've mentioned it over the weeks, how it's kind of like the forgotten child sometimes.
Is.
And I kind of wish that it was more in the limelight, because there's a large player base exclusive to StarCraft.
Oh, yeah.
Don't play anything else except StarCraft. They live and breathe the game and especially the ranked play. And I'm
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of jealous. I wish I had the time to do that. But no, it's a really good game, and I really really like to see articles like this. It's a good feel good story. The content behind it, the comment section is not, but her winning and her story is very very feel good. So yeah, I think that was good. So, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, it is Christmas,
It is.
which is
As I
funny.
say, I'm wearing the ugly angel sweater of the year.
Yes, and if my camera was working, I'm sure I would be sporting something just as awesome and festive as that. But so we're coming down to the wire. It's the 22nd, almost the 23rd of December.
Yeah.
For some people out there, it is the 23rd in Europe. What are some gift ideas?
So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do. You don't even have to leave your house and enter the holiday shopping LFR that I did yesterday. I completely encourage you to not enter the LFR if you can. So as we mentioned at the top of the show, we do have Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls pre-order is now available.
Yes.
So digital download is $39.99 and the digital deluxe is $59.99. So definitely Diablo players on your Christmas list. This would make a really awesome gift. Until the 1st of January, WoW and like the whole thing from start to Pandaria is still $15.
Right.
So if you want one of the really cool new mounts like the Emerald Hippogriff from Recruiter Friend, or some of the other pets, Blizzard has a whole list of, there's 4 mounts, 4 pets that you can choose from. Some buddies have been like, maybe I want to check it out. $15, there you go.
That's
they have
right.
the full thing of WoW. And then they only have to pay $15 a month to play it. And after a month of paying for WoW, you get your mount. Plus, they get a bunch of bonus levels, and you guys can level together.
Yes, it's really good. I think it's really good. I'm having so much fun switching between scenes that I'm just going to keep pulling this stuff up. So, yes, let's see some pets.
And then we do have, of course, 50% off almost all pets and mounts in the Blizzard store.
I know I'm cutting some of them off, but yeah, there's some really good ones. Keep going there, Darryl.
If there's a mount or a pet that you've been wanting to get for a while, now's the time to do it. For instance, Little Ragnaros, he's $5,
Right.
and he can be used as a campfire, so he is useful. And of course, there's all the cool mounts. The Celestial Steed. Everyone likes a Sparkle Pony. Everyone
Yes.
can have a Sparkle Pony.
Even I do.
Yes. Now, of course, the Enchanted Fey Dragon and the Alterac Brew Pup, which are newer pets, are not 50% off right now.
Nope.
But if you buy the Alterac Brew Pup for $10, 50% of that is donated to Make-A-Wish, or you can do the charity bundle, which is the Alterac Brew Pup and the Enchanted Fey Dragon, which is, I believe, $30.
I think so. That sounds
So it's
right.
$5 off,
Right.
and they're still donating money to Make-A-Wish Foundation. So obviously, if you want to help out a good cause, and get yourself or someone that you love, or even just like a little bit, something cool in their mailbox, definitely do this. And I think Make-A-Wish, weren't they the ones that did that helped out Bat Kid, that big story in San Francisco?
Yes, and that was great too. They do a lot of good stuff.
So yeah, if you want to help, other children be Batman or any other various superheroes, their dying wish, hey, Make-A-Wish Foundation is a fantastic charity.
Yes, it is.
Now, if you want to leave the Blizzard store and take a look elsewhere, I did find that Jinx is doing some really cool stuff for the holidays.
Oh, great.
Free shipping on orders of $75 or more. 10% off of orders $75 or more, 20% off of orders $150 or more. Specifically, I saw that for WoW items, If you buy any 2 WoW jackets or hoodies, you get a free Kobold plush hat for free.
Right.
And the plush hat is normally $15, but he does have a little candle sitting on his head, so you can actually run around and be like, take candle.
Oh.
And since it's sewed on, people will have a hard time getting the candle from you. For Diablo 3 fanatics, if you buy any 2 jackets, you get 25% off.
Gotcha.
So lots of really cool, good gifts for your gamer fanatic in your life.
Sure.
They do also have a couple basic Hearthstone shirts with just the Hearthstone logo. They do have a bunch of StarCraft stuff as well. Those were a couple of the specific specials that I saw in Jigs for WoW and Diablo 3.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I think those are all really good suggestions. Just a quick addition to the Make-A-Wish.
Mm-hmm.
They have really partnered a lot with Blizzard in the past, specifically
Yes.
WoW. I think during Burning Crusade, I think there was something with a child going through who had cancer, and I think that Blizzard did a lot of good things for that kid. I think made a quest in his name. There's a lot of that Make-A-Wish and Blizzard do together. So it's a really good cause. I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy myself that as a self-Christmas present here coming up this week, because I think it's a really good deal.
It is.
Plus the mount and the pet are awesome.
Yes.
I love seeing it in game. I think they look really good, and I think Blizzard did an excellent job coming up with this idea all around. So so I think it's really good. And then there's so many little things, even besides the physical world. I think people in game should really use the in-game benefits to give gifts. I know some people are like, sending in-game items, like even like pets and like cake, making cake, these little things like that. The whole thing is to show your appreciation for each other during the Christmas time, and there's so many ways to do it in game as well. So
yeah, definitely.
I think you should. I think it's important to take the time out to do that. So
yeah, I mean, just show your appreciation for the people that you quest with, that you group
Yes.
with. Whether you've ever met them face to face or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make them any less of a friend.
No, not at all.
And so doing those things, in game, is people appreciate it.
Yeah, they do. They do. I know. I appreciate it. I know. I got something this week for Christmas from someone in
very
game,
cool.
and I think it was just a cake. And it's something as simple as that. It made my day. I was like, oh, I have mail, and I thought it was just gonna be like auction house stuff. No, it was a cake, and I thought it was great, and it really made my day. So something
awesome.
Small can really go a long way. So.
Oh yeah, I agree. So before we get to the Dear Gamer segment, thinking of good, warm, fuzzy feelings, wanted to send out a congratulations to BMOP, blogger on WordPress.
Yes.
2 years of blogging. And he actually, BMOP actually put up a whole blog about it being 2 years, where they started and, where they're at now. And BMOP does some pretty good articles, good opinion pieces. So yeah, congratulations BMOP for 2 years of blogging. Yay.
Yes, congrats.
That's a
2 more years to you, sir. 2 more years.
That is a lot of time and effort, let me tell you. Now, we did have the community question for this week of how do you feel about Blizzard deleting the, quote, begging, whining posts for beta keys for Diablo 3 and Hearthstone. And, hey, Zedvisor is in this. Hey, what's up? You're late. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time. It's obviously, we've talked about people whining and moaning about not having a beta key. Now, just to be clear, it has been announced, including our very own Zen Style on BlizzPro.com, that the opt-in for Hearthstone beta is ending January 7th. So get in your, opt-ins now before that date.
Right.
So you can get a key. But because they're going to be ending the closed beta opt-in soon, open beta can't be too far behind.
Yes.
So if somehow you still don't quite do it and don't get a key, you can hopefully look forward to Hearthstone being an open beta soon.
Yes. I
So,
completely
go,
agree.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say really quick, if you are out there and you're listening to this and you are one of the unlucky few that does not have a Hearthstone beta, Twitter is really good. Follow some people on Twitter, some big names on Twitter who are big in the Blizzard community or any of these fan news sites like Wowhead, BlizzPro. Follow them. Usually, when they get keys, they are dishing them out to their fans or to the fan base. Twitch.tv is also good. You're already on here or you're on YouTube watching us. So usually, a lot of the WoW or the Hearthstone streamers, streamers rather, are usually giving away Hearthstone beta keys almost every day. So there's lots of opportunities. Don't lose heart. By all means, go out there and, just if it's a contest, I mean, what do you got to lose? Most of the time it's answering a question or just being there at the right time. So it just takes a little bit of diligence and you can get a key. So, and I mean,
right, Twizcast alone has given out, I don't know how many keys.
A lot.
I actually got one being in Twizcast's chat room.
Yeah, you did.
A few weeks ago. And then just the other day, Blizzard finally sent me my beta key. So I turned around and I gave it right back to Twiz, and I said, "Here,
there you
you
go.
gave me mine, so I'm giving it back to you, basically.
Right.
Go find someone who needs a key." And he found somebody and gave it away.
Yep.
So we share the love if we get a key.
That's right. You gotta. You definitely gotta. So. So that's really good. So yeah, just besides, I mean, the opt-in is closing, which means open is coming. But I mean, if you are really hankering, like I said, get yourself out there, look for some contests. But the end is near for the closed beta, so we can get really excited for the open beta. All that influx of people. I don't know if there's any numbers out there about how many people are in the beta or are not in the beta. But I'm sure regardless that once it does go open beta, it's going to be a floodgate opening. And we're going to see a lot of new, fresh blood in the beta process, which is excellent because I feel like I've seen a lot of the same names I play against. Or it's just like a really bad sense of deja vu or paranoia. I don't know.
Or you're just playing too much. No,
that is very true.
That could never be a reason.
Oh, gosh.
So anyways, so as far as our question of, do you think it's, that Blizzard is doing a good thing by deleting these whining and begging posts? A few people on Twitter did respond. Tarahawk said, I think it's a good thing. There's no need for those posts. Faye Miracle said, it's a good thing. It's nothing but clutter and detracts from legitimate posts. Uranial FH says it's the best thing to do with these kinds of posts. Skarn says G just gave an emote of giving it a high five for them doing it. Mincy1 says, why should they allow people to spam for keys? Inviting 100K people would only create chaos. Inviting only a few thousand is better in my opinion. And then, of course, had to go through a second tweet because Twitter limits you.
Yep.
Said, except for stress tests, obviously, a few thousand enough to find the most critical bugs in the system. And fuck Babog, I'm sorry if I butchered that. I'm not quite sure how to say that. My brain is not working. Says, I'm cool with it. I think really active players should get it so the keys don't go to waste for a 3-day fling. So overall, yes, people are happy to see, that Blizzard is taking a stance and saying, all right, guys, look, we cannot have 6 million threads of, I need a beta key, I need a beta key, I need a beta key.
Yep.
So it is good. And it's in the last comment, about, keys not going to waste for non-active players. Well, I mean, who's to say that someone couldn't become an active player? I mean, this is the first time Blizzard's ever done, a collectible card game.
It's true.
And as far as Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, maybe some people just started to get into Diablo that weren't involved with Diablo before. I mean, until Diablo 3, which I got for signing up for the Year of WoW.
Yeah.
And I got access to Diablo 3. I got it for free. I'd never played Diablo before.
Oh.
It never even crossed my mind to really play it, even though I used to play those kind of games all the time.
Right.
I was just focused on WoW. But when I got access to it, I was like, well, heck, I might as well give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. I like it. So, getting into Diablo, their next thing, Reaper of Souls, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I think it's good. I think it's a good thing that they're, like I said over the last couple of weeks, it's good that they're taking this approach to it, and they have to take this approach because the beta process now, the beta key process is so accessible. It seems like with this quote unquote generation of Blizzard games. I mean, that it's making people more anxious for it. And now with things like Twitch out there, where you can see people playing these, the betas, it's like,
oh yeah,
it kind of it just like antagonizes people and gets them riled up more so.
I think we refer to
it.
that as free advertising.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not antagonizing.
Well, it's something.
It does antagonize. It does,
Yeah.
because everyone's like, "Oh, I want to play. I'm so jealous."
Right. So I think that it's definitely necessary to have that approach, and they're going to have to maintain this kind of mentality for as long as Blizzard exists and as long as they're doing open and closed betas, because they're going to have to keep the masses at bay in some way, and they're going to have to deal with people that are whining or complaining or flaming each other, etc., tearing each other apart over it.
Oh, right. I deserve to have one this other person doesn't because they suck as a player. It's like, really?
Yes.
Oh,
entitlement.
Yes, gotta love it. Gotta love it. But, players are players and gamers are gamers. And why does Geeky keep winking at me? Zedvisor, it's because you're cool.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll just say that's the case.
You're totally cool, Zedvisor. That's why. Yeah, he's totally winking at you.
Totally.
Yep.
You pegged me. Guilty.
Oh man. Well, this has been a very fun show. It's almost the holidays. We're scrambling around trying to do last minute Christmas shopping and try to do a show and do everything else. And I'm still trying to do my dailies because I'm going to miss 2 days of not playing basically because of having to go see family.
Yep.
Which, sucks for me.
Yep.
But I do want to say thank you to everyone in the chat room and thank you to everyone who will be watching this later.
Yes.
Don't forget to check out blizzpro.com for all of your news related to anything Blizzard. And don't forget to check out BlizzPro Weekly hosted by Chris Arnone. It's best 15 to 20 minutes you will spend learning about everything that is going on with Blizzard news. It's not a long show, but it definitely sums up everything really, really nice. So check out BlizzPro Weekly, and it'll be up on BlizzPro's YouTube channel. Don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, and you can see all of the shows up there. This is the Spotlight Podcast. You can send us an email at spotlight@blizzpro.com. You can also follow us on Twitter @Spotlight, capital P. Happy holidays to everybody. And don't forget to check out Realm Maintenance coming up. Rose got a special holiday greetings show for everyone. And we are saying hello to everyone. So let's hope Sosa safely traverses the battleground known as Holidays with the Family.
Yes.
And doesn't get ganked too often. Geeky, what would you like to leave us with?
I think you did a really good job of summing it up. Just stay safe and enjoy the family time over Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever religion you are aligned with. Enjoy some downtime. That's really what it comes down to. End of the year. It's really good stuff. I'm really excited to play games. I have 3 weeks off from school. So I'm really looking forward to catching up and eating some food and spending time with family. So like Darrow said, head over to blizzpro.com. Check out all the great articles there. BlizzPro.tv has some excellent shows like TwizCast and The Edge. Also really good shows. And
last episode of TwizCast was fantastic.
Yes, it was. And be prepared for I think it's the next episode of TwizCast. I think they got the voice actor who did Illidan to come back for a repeat performance.
Nice.
I believe so. You might need to go over to blizzpro.com and check to make sure
Yes.
I'm correct. So, you can also follow us individually at our Twitter handles below our portraits or above my portrait in that case. We are some crazy people, but most of the time we're on Twitter and like to have
just a
fun.
little.
Just a little crazy.
Yeah, just a little. I have medication for that, but no, so I'm not as crazy. But I,
WoW is my
what do you
medication
expect?
for craziness.
Yes,
Or it
that's
feeds
right.
it, either one.
Yes,
So,
it's something like that. Yeah.
yes.
As for me, happy whatever doesn't offend you.
That's right.
And I hope you all have a wonderful time with your families, whether they be online or not, or both. And we will catch you all after Christmas.
Yes, one more
Great
show
night,
before the new year.
Yes, one more, and it will be awesome.
Yes.
We should break out the champagne.
That's right.
So, salute.
Salute. See you guys.
The forums.
The streamers.
The blogs.
The gamer.
The tweets.
The streamers.
The role players.
The player.
The forums.
The bad.
The blogs.
The good.
The enthusiast.
The spotlight.
The spotlight.
The spotlight.